Good morning. I thought, oh my goodness, I thought that I had erased this by mistake. But anyway, I was just, how did anybody, well, I'm sure by now, if you didn't listen to it, you've heard about Kamala Harris being interviewed on Fox News by Bear, and I listened to the questions that he asked. And he asked her some crazy questions. He talked over her, and you know, she stood her ground with him. And you know, I heard the comment. I thought she did really well because she kept telling the things that Donald Trump had done. And the host, Brett Bear, I think his name is, excuse me, his name is, he took and you know, he asked her, a question which was baited. He asked her why, he told her that 50% of American people didn't trust her and said they were going to vote for Trump. And he asked her, why was that? And she didn't answer. And tonight I heard Augustus Corbett, who is one of the Defiant lawyers, who has a page called the Defiant Lawyers. He said she didn't answer, and she was right not to answer because she couldn't, because, of what she would have said. So he answered for her, and he said that, you know, he said that it was because of white supremacy, because they didn't like her because she was a woman and she was a black woman. And so, anyway, I just listened to a bunch of people saying, that she's a liar and that that she didn't handle that. She wouldn't answer any of the questions because I didn't see the whole video of him, but it was said that she didn't answer the question of reparations because she was saying they were studying it. And so anyway, different things they were saying. Now, what I myself, and then they were talking about Candace Owens and people like her because she is trying her best to make a scandal by saying that Kamala Harris is white. You know, she's not black. She's doing all this archaeological, um, you know, digging and saying her grandmother was white, her parents are white, because because they're not Jamaican. Something about the names. Anyway, Candace Owens is always doing something, and she, she's always doing something, but she's trying her best to get a scandal. She did it with George Floyd. She did it. She does it with every black person that has a problem. So, Candace Owens is in line with Mark Robinson, and they talk, about Janet Jackson. I was very surprised that Janet Jackson had anything to say against Kamala Harris because her family is Jehovah's Witness. But then I was told that Kamala Harris was the prosecutor who prosecuted the case against her brother Michael. So her take on Kamala is understandable, and they they are saying that, you know, these, it's crazy. Not only I have friends who, who are saying she's fake, Project 2025 is fake, he can't do what he said he's gonna do. And I'm like, if he's the president, he can do what he wants, and they won't. And that's why I named this. I titled this video as "Reading is Fundamental, Comprehension is Understanding, Understanding is equal to knowledge, and knowledge is power." You know, people are reading, but they're not understanding. They're not comprehending what they're reading. There's so much misinformation out in our community, that that people are reading it and they can't discern between the reality and the unreality of things going there, because uh, it's really crazy. It's really crazy, the misinformation that is engulfing the black community, and and so many people, black people, are saying that they are going to vote for Trump, and a lot of them, if you ask them why, would because they have every right to vote for who they want to vote for. And you ask them, oh, Trump gave us stimulus checks. Well, the stimulus checks are nothing, are really, nothing. And the stimulus checks were started by, uh, by Barack Obama to stimulate the economy. But if the Republicans and Mitch McConnell had let the bill go through and passed it, the House would have, those checks would have came from uh, Barack Obama and the Democrats to stimulate the economy, to keep the economy from going into economic depression. you know. So, but this thing with this, and I don't get it. Trump is a convicted felon, and a convicted felon, a liar, and all of this is proven, and no, and everybody is willing to vote for this man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And people say they read, I research, but you can't. My thing with a lot of people is it's twofold. First, I would like to know, what has her race got to do with her ability to lead? Some people say it's because she lied, that she's not black. I don't understand it. Coming from a biracial family, you know, my dad is biracial, his sisters, his sibling, his brother and his sisters, they're all biracial. So, you know, and get a lot of, I used to get a lot of that. Oh, you're not black, you just passed it. Well, you just want to be black because I'm light skinned. I'm light, which is actually very crazy to me, is crazy. It's just crazy, crazy. You know, so I'm, you know, so I kind of know what she's going through. So what I want to say is, it's just weird to me that people are making her race such a thing. Oh, hey, Mr. Donnie, how are you? How are you? Yeah, I should have did this earlier, but some things came up. I'm doing this on my phone. But in a couple of days, well, I got a new phone. I got an Android and don't know how to use it. But anyway, I was talking about, about the misinformation that's in our community and blacks and stuff. And did you see the interview that Kamala Harris did with Brett Baer on Fox News, which was one-sided from the start? We all know that, I'm sure. I'm sure you know that too. And he talked over her. He was doing, you know, everything. So, but anyway, getting back to it, just in our community, that's the first thing. What has it got to do with it? And why is it that black men will give Donald Trump a pass, even though he's a convicted felon? He's a convicted felon. So why would people give him give him a pass and say he should be the president? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really don't get that. He has 34 felony counts against him, and he's going to have more. They're waiting till after the election, and that's what I was talking about. But this misinformation is coming, and I'm not sure if it's coming from China. I'm not sure where it's coming from. But I do know this: it is very, very effective in the black community because these people are, she's not African American, yada, yada, yada. Black is black, you know. Black is black in our community. So, so, you know, but black is black in our community, and it seems to be a big issue with Kamala. I'm voting for her. Nothing's going to change my mind about voting for her. I've been told I'm a fool, I'm an idiot, uh, I'm a liar just like she is, and I've been called everything but a child of God because I said I'm going to vote for her. But the ones who saying that seem to not see nothing wrong with Donald Trump. I vote for people who have priorities and have a plan, but have a political plan. And Trump, the only plan Trump has for black people is he he's gonna take and I guess he's gonna try to have us back to picking cotton. I guess I don't know. I really don't know. So you know, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. I just don't understand how how that man has been insulted. He put up a pair of them cheap sneakers saying black people were going to think of black people were going to buy them because they like sneakers. And, and then all that dirt he says about black people like him because he got a mugshot that made him like him. I mean, all that nonsense and stuff, but they don't like people like Candace Owens, and people follow her. She's she's you know she's she looks black, but she don't act black. But people want to follow her. She's trying to make a scandal out of Kamala Harris. She's trying to make a scandal out of that woman. Make that woman have a scandal. But Kamala Harris really don't have a scandal. She really doesn't. So, I'm not getting, I'm not getting, really not getting, it's just amazing me what people are thinking about, you know, it's just amazing me what people are thinking about, you know, Kamala Harris and why you should vote, why you shouldn't vote for her. That thing, and then people like Candace Owens is saying she's white. Candace Owens even went so far as to say her grandmother couldn't be her grandmother because her grandmother was dead before she was born. I think people do have relatives that are relatives because I have an aunt whom I'm named after. My first name I'm named after, Catherine, after my aunt. She died before I was born, but she's still my mother's sister. She was still my mother's sister, so that still makes her my aunt. And Candace Owens is trying to say that the lady that Kamala Harris says is her grandmother couldn't be her grandmother because she died before she was born, if that makes sense to you. I don't know about you, but that don't make sense to me. Because like I said, I've experienced having a relative who's dead, but she's still my aunt. She's my aunt. I look at pictures when I was young and look at pictures and I'd ask my mother, I was like, Mommy, who's this? She says, oh, that's your Aunt Catherine. And I still refer to her as my aunt. I've never met the lady. She died before I was born, but she's still my aunt. I have grandfathers. I have, grandfathers that died. Great uncles that died before I was born, but they're still my uncle. So, anyway, they trying to build a scandal on Kamala Harris. That interview, on that Fox interview, she had a lot of nerve doing it. That guy was talking over her when he was asking her certain questions, and she was saying that Donald Trump was, that she was telling all the things that Donald Trump had done, and he showed some video. You got to go and watch it because if you watch it, you'll understand everything I'm saying. She asked a question. He asked a question. He showed a video, but the part where Kamala had answered and said what he said, they cut that part out to make her look bad. So it's really, 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 really crazy what they doing. They're black men, not every black man. I'm not gonna say every black man, but black men are really against her, and they're against her because she was a prosecutor who was doing her job. She prosecuted her cases by the evidence that was presented to her. And there's something about she put a man in prison for something he didn't do. The information was, it was something about it was suppressed or something, but the information that could have kept him from going to prison was not presented to her, and she prosecuted him and she won a conviction on him. but he was, it's Breelove, I think his name is. He's an actor now. And anyway, the information wasn't presented to him, you know, presented the way the cops suppressed it. The LAPD suppressed the information. So it's wild. It's really, really wild. You gotta, you know, you have to understand it, really, because but they want to blame her for that. She didn't put anybody in prison. Their actions put them in prison, most of them. Yeah, she made a mistake with that. She said she made some mistake, and she started programs to help reenter men in back into society who had been incarcerated for nonviolent offenses. It, she did all of that. So, so that's one thing. And then the thing with color. What difference does the color make? I mean, I'm not feeling that. Shouldn't it be about the policies, about what she's gonna do? They don't understand that there's people are saying that, oh, she didn't do anything for black people as black people while she was vice president. They need civics classes. They don't understand how the government works. We have three branches of government: executive, legislative, and judicial. And the role of and what the role of the vice president is. The vice president is to fill in for the president when there's things he can't do, like going to a funeral or going to certain functions and affairs. If he's unable to go or he's somewhere else and something happens, then she goes. And the president only signs the law. The Senate and the House of Representatives, they work it out and they write the laws and the president signs it. So these people don't even know the civics classes, you know. They don't even know civics classes. They have no understanding of civic classes. They say they read. Yeah, they read, but they don't comprehend. And if you don't comprehend, you don't understand. And if you can't understand, you don't have true knowledge. You know, I've had people that I know tell me they're not voting for Kamala because she craziness, because they're not voting for her because she was a prosecutor. She put black men in jail for a long time, long periods of time. But I feel like this: she didn't put nobody in jail. They put themselves in jail. You go out here and do stupid stuff and think you ain't gonna get caught. You might get away with it one time, you might get away with it two, and you might just possibly get away with it three times. But you're going to get caught because you can't keep going around here doing craziness and think ain't nobody going to stop you. So, they don't have her. And you got all these black people who catered to Donald Trump, who catered to the I'm not even going to call it the Republican Party. I mean, yeah, because that's not the Republican Party that I grew up with. Because they worked and made laws, they worked and passed laws and stuff. So I don't know, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy to me that different things. So, you know, I I'm just waiting because I'm doing the lives that I've done them with my phone. So uh, I'm gonna have I have a phone, but this is an Android phone and it's not working for me. So I'm gonna pay my telephone bill so I can get back, so I can get back live in it and everything. So once I get that, I'll be able to show more stuff because I don't understand how to do lives on this doggone phone. I really don't, and so it's trying. I tried. I let my son talk me into down, downgraded, cutting my expenses, but I'm gonna get my Apple phone back out. I'm an Apple girl, you know. The apple is my favorite fruit, and it's my favorite telephone. So I got used to working with it. But anyway, I'm just so much in Byron Donaldson, Mark Robinson, from North Carolina and stuff. I really believe Kamala is going to win. I believe she's going to win because nobody really wants Donald Trump in. You got Republicans who met up. I don't know if you've seen it. A bunch of Republican people got together and campaigned with Kamala Harris. I think they were in Georgia. If I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken, but I think they were in Georgia. And they went down to Georgia and they met down there because what do you call it? Early voting started in Georgia. The people are really turning out to vote because nobody wants Donald Trump in. Donald Trump is a bad boy. He's the bad boy. He's the bad kid that nobody don't want their kids to be with. There was always one kid when you were growing up that your mother didn't want you to be with, be around them. So, you know, that there and stuff like that. But I hope I hope a majority of the black men do stand with Kamala Harris because Trump means nobody no good. And if she doesn't work out, hey, you can start now looking at the candidates who could be for, you know, she only gonna have 4 years if she win and she ain't right. Just like they got rid of Donald Trump in 4 years, they'll get rid of her in 4 years. But my thing, this is something else too. My thing is, it's not the election that's gonna be bad. It's the aftermath of the election when she wins that I'm afraid of. I don't think we'll have a repeat performance of what happened on January 6, 2021, but I do believe there's going to be some bloodshed and it's going to be a rioting in the street because I know they're going to start this nonsense about um, it was stolen. And Georgia tried to pass this law where they had to hand count every vote, something, but today it came across my feed that the state, Georgia state government said the law was unconstitutional. So they can't do that. Thank God they can't do that. I don't know what they're going to do in Arizona. I don't know what they're going to do in Philadelphia, but I do think I think she's going to win Philadelphia. I think she'll win Georgia. I hope she'll win Georgia. I just hope she'll win everything, and I hope everybody votes blue all the way down, because this is ridiculous to get rid of all these MAGA nuts and everything, because it's crazy. It's crazy. Donald Trump is just doing all kind of jerky mess, you know. So we got what? Today is the 17th, I believe. Yeah. No, today is it's 17th, right? Because the 19th is Sunday. And anyway, I'm going to go. My next live will be earlier, and it will be better prepared. So I'm going to say good night, Donnie. Thank you as usual. You always come through for me. I'll be, I will, I'll be at it again. Okay. Good night.